Hello, fantabulous souls. Welcome to Psychically Speaking, where we discuss all things body, mind, spirit related. I'm your host, Psychic Lisa Ann. As a professional psychic medium and healer, I have been assisting people for over 27 years. I am so excited to have you join me on this journey called life as we share, learn, and grow together. Let's jump right in. Today, we are going to be talking about soul circles. And this is probably not the soul circle that you're familiar with. What I'm talking about is that inner circle, that group of people that you go to for support, for encouragement, that group of people that you go to when you're stuck or you need help in moving forward. So many times when I talk to people, they'll say to me, I have nobody to help me, or there's no one to offer me support. And I want to start by telling you that we always have people around us that can help us and guide us and support us. The problem is, a lot of times we're looking in the wrong direction. A lot of times we're looking to the people who may not have the tools, the knowledge, or the know how to assist us with a specific thing that we're going through. So it's really important when we're going through those moments in our lives where we need that support, where we need that encouragement, where we need that guidance. We have to really take a step back and make sure that we are reaching out to the right people. It's really funny, and I've had to learn this the hard way time and time again. But when you have that mindset of there's no one around to help or nobody can help me, one of the things that you do on a subconscious level is you tend to reach out and ask the wrong people. Because that way, when they don't help you and it doesn't work, it feeds that belief system that you have of, see, that's why I don't ask for help because no one can ever help me. So, the way to shift that around is by taking a step back. And when you're in that space where there's guidance, there's support, there's help that you need, you take a step back and you say, okay, this is what I need help with. Let me look at the people around me. Who is an expert in this issue that I'm having, or who has been through this issue and is now on the other side of it that can be a good support person or a good person to go to for guidance? I always laugh because I love to tell this story. Years, many, many years ago, I thought I had the most intelligent idea of my lifetime. I was like, I should be writing the paper about this because I'm just a genius. And I decided that I was going to get a small group of new business owners and get them together. And we would meet monthly and we would just help to support each other. Of course, this was, decades ago. And now we have support groups for everything. But back in the day, there wasn't too many things like that available. So, me thinking that I was doing this great genius thing, I was so excited about this great idea. And I have to tell you, after meeting one, I realized what a huge mistake I made. Because instead of me saying, okay, there's new directions that I want to be taking my business in, so let me reach out to people who are accomplished and successful and have been down this path, I decided to get a group of people who were just as lost, confused, and uneducated in what as I was in the direction that I was trying to go in. So it was just like a freak show where we were all like, we had no idea what we were doing. And it's funny because I joke about it, but when I look back, I realize how ridiculous that was. It was like, oh, let's get a bus of people that don't have a driver's license and let's all try to figure out how to drive this bus together. And I will tell you that is the last time that I ever made that mistake. Now, when I'm looking to go in new directions or I'm working on projects or there's things that I want to improve on in my own life or there's support in areas of my life that I need help with, I really do take that step back and I am very particular about who I ask for help and most importantly, who I take advice from. So I'm going to say that again. I'm very particular about who I ask for help and who I take advice from. No offense, but I am not taking business advice from someone who has never ever owned a business. Make sense? Right? I want to take advice from someone who owns several businesses, right? Or someone whose business was so successful that they ended up retiring. I can't tell you how many times. I know those of you who have been following along with this podcast already know this, but for those that are new listening to the podcast for the first time, I have been in the field for 27 years, but I have owned Spirit Quest, my body, mind, spirit spa and gift shop for 23 years. So back in the day, if I had a dollar for every time I would have someone say to me, you know what I did when I owned my business before I had to close it? Okay, that's not the person, no offense, that I want to be taking advice from, right? Think about that. I have someone who was not successful in keeping their business open, right? That's very different from someone that had a successful business and retired or had a successful business and sold it, right? These were people who were like, well, when I had a business before I had to shut it down, that's not who I want to be taking advice from, right? It's just like, no offense, but I'm not going to take relationship advice from someone who's been divorced 5 times, right? I want to take relationship advice from someone who is in a happy relationship. So I think it's really funny sometimes how we don't realize the advice that we seek out, we have to be really particular about where we are seeking it out and who we are taking the advice from. So, when you are putting together your spirit circle, also known as your support circle, it needs to be very small. It doesn't have to be a million people, right? In this world of social media, it's how many followers do I have and how many friends do I have? In the real world, which is what I'm hoping this podcast is going to bring people back to, in the real world, it's about real significant relationships. In the real world, it's about reaching out to people who we know have the tools to give us the support and help us, right? And we want to make sure we are being, again, particular in who we are choosing to reach out to. Now, you might be listening to this now and already off the top of your head go, oh my God, I have, all these issues going on. And sometimes, and trust me when I tell you, I have been there. Sometimes you need a team, right? Sometimes you need to go out and get that team, right? Whether it's a therapist or a lawyer or a chiropractor, like sometimes we need a whole team to get us through things. So, take that step back and look at one thing at a time and say, where do I need the help? Where do I need the support? What is the direction that I'm trying to go in, right? And give yourself permission to be picky in this situation, okay? And make sure the person that you're taking the advice from, the person that you're leaning on, the person that you are inviting to be in that inner circle, that spirit circle, as I like to call it, make sure that they have the tools, the knowledge, and the know how to be the support person, to be the person to help you grow and learn. So, I would like to give you a little homework assignment this time. For those of you who are listening, I want you to think over the next few days about an area in your life that you would like to change. And I want you to be very specific with yourself about where you are now and what needs to be done in order to make that change. Once you have those steps, I want you to take a step back and look and say, who are the people who can be helpful to me with each one of these steps that I need to take? And again, it may be one person or it may be several people. And once you do that, I want you to watch how things unfold and how wonderful it is to be able to ask for help and to be supported and to have people in that spirit circle, in your inner circle, that can help support, love, and guide you. Thanks again for joining me, and remember to share and subscribe to this podcast. For more information on my work, please visit spiritquestnc.com. And remember, life isn't always rainbows and butterflies, so each and every day, make the choice to be fantabulous.